Hi, welcome to my fourth channel that's alive out of, I think this is 20 channels. The most viewers I've had on my channel at any one time was something like 60,000 viewers. I'm not really all that interesting. But, I tell people to copy my videos and then hand them to people who I've debunked. So, this channel is literally not supposed to have anybody comment on it that I need to reply to, because why would anybody comment on this channel? As you say, well, you have 18 subscribers and 23 views. Yeah, welcome to last Tuesday. So, here's how this works. Welcome to Just Answering Questions with Waptek. There are 3 other fucking channels. So now that you've stepped in it, I happen to catch all your bullshit talking about David Wynn Miller. You're clueless and probably a homeless because you live in the world of the fiction of fiction. Okay, counterpoint. David Wynn Miller and all people like him are fake lawyers or fake law advisors. Taking their advice, it's that joke, if you represent yourself in court, you have a fool for a client. These people take that to 11. They tell you to do things that literally always make you worse off. And they base it on anything from deciding that the letter and number system only applies outside of the legal system, and that everything is topsy-turvy universe, or they do the sovereign citizen thing where they decide that no court can validate itself because they decide they are the arbiter of what is and is not an authority source. Meanwhile, they get their asses raped, financially. Wesley Snipes got taken to the cleaners because he's the one who got out the starch. So let's get on with it. I'm such and such age. I can use the English language as you use the verb world, but parallel the correct sentence structure. Okay. Trying to rewrite the English language into something that's very, very close to a RISC processor, reduced instruction set computing. No. The English language is the English language. You are not the boss of it, nor is David Wynn Miller and the other people. Deciding you're going to deliberately misinterpret the English language only works if you're trying to actually enhance it in some way. The legal system already does this pretty badly because they have to deal with the baggage of previous languages, including French and Latin. And in the United States, we have a plain English rule. You want to take it to 11 by creating a fake version of grammar, syntax, and other things. Pro tip, what you're talking about, whether you like hearing it or not, is attempting to deconstruct the concept of language itself. That's fine, but that's not how the legal system works. It just doesn't. And the legal system doesn't put up with you. Well, we can just... No, you can't. When assholes like David Wynn Miller and the others showed up in court and did this, just like the sovereign citizens, when they tried to pull this crap, they pushed it as far as they could until every court system felt obliged and justified in saying, you're not allowed to bring up these bullshit arguments anymore. That's the end of it. You've actually demanded precedents be set. And they were against you. This is like demanding equal rights for women. The ERA idea that actually didn't go through. But pushing it by creating some fake argument. This would actually result in you being told, legally speaking, you're not allowed to bring an argument like that again. Even if it's valid, simply because of the way you did it and the fact that you refuse to acknowledge that you can't go outside of reality. So we'll go on with the next. If your anxiety comes under control, you should within yourself find the moral turpitude and quit being a YouTube whiner. I'm by whiner. The rest of this part in here where you're trying to do word salad. Correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar. You're avoiding using words that make it clear what you're saying. You're trying to make a special codified language so that only you know what you're saying, and then you bitch out people for telling you, we don't have to do that. This is like me demanding people program everything in haiku. Or, no, it only can be done in Fortran. Well, it can be translated back and forth, or I can say literally I want you to use RISC processing or pure Carnot map setups for doing programming. That doesn't change the fact that I'm running a Windows computer and it doesn't give a shit. The world you're in is called reality, and reality told you to shove it up your butt. Once you engage with communication parse, a syntax grammar, you have really shitty grammar because you created your own specialized grammar that only you are the arbiter of. That's like me deciding that you have to use modem speak. It just sounds like a really, really angry or possibly constipated Wookiee. No one gives a shit. I'm leaving that in. That's a perfectly good joke. It all has to do with numbers. Numbers created correct language. No. None of this is real. And if you start invoking Hebrew or whatever, we're done. You do not have the ability to force the legal system or the real world to use your specialized version of language. Full stop. You don't have the ability to force anybody to obey you. Full stop. Feeling frustrated? Get on your knees and bark. Your life existence is contract. Once you understand that everything you've ever been taught is wrong. Counterpoint. No, our existences are not a contract, either with the devil or with God. Or the government. You have the absolute right to decide to exit this system and go to some other country you think works better. You can do anything you want to in this world, unless it violates the will of the people. In this country, no matter how much we bitch about it, we would rather deal with the system as it is than deal with a completely different system where you get caned for spitting on the sidewalk, or you can be killed for being gay by throwing you off of a tower. This is not the shittiest country on the planet. You wanting to upset the apple cart is fun. That's great. But you have to get our consent. We do not consent. The majority of us will never consent. We don't like you that way. You must have a life claim to pursue the fraud. Okay, you need to stop talking in your specialized language that only 5 people use. Why don't you learn Esperanto? Esperanto, why don't you come to your senses? You don't get to make those decisions. I said David Windmiller and his other people, devotees, and all the other people like him are a fraud because you commit actual, honest-to-fucking-God fraud by claiming that you are able to tell people how to win a court case at all. By definition, that expression, saying you can do that, or even insinuating it, is prima facie evidence that you're impersonating a lawyer. David Windmiller and a bunch of other people have all said that they're lawyers or judges, or in some cases, literally kings and queens. Should I do the spanking joke again? None of you have any veracity to what you say. Now, you've come to my channel, wrong neighborhood, obviously. Number 2, again, you can't get the majority of people in this country to consent to change the legal system into this language. No, it wasn't written this way. No, he hasn't discovered some secret code. The only secret code is, and if you want to listen, you will, and you won't, I'm sure you won't, is if you don't like the way the legal system works, go ahead and petition to force your government. You don't ask them, you force them to change laws. If you want to play Soviet citizen, if you want to play sovereign citizen and say that you don't have to have a driver's license to drive a car, you can just change the laws in your country and your city and your county and your state. You can do this. But the thing is, you have to get us to sign the petition too. All of us have to consent to this. You know, it's that sneaky thing called democracy. Fuck you. Thanks for watching. Have